kingdom Monera? Okay, kingdom Monera that you have discussed, and you have finished that chapter, and today we'll have to discuss that of kingdom Protista. Okay, students, that you'll have to prepare it for the new kingdom, that kingdom Protista. We'll have to discuss, and in kingdom Monera that we have discussed about that of different type of bacteria that we had discussed a lot, and we know that all bacteria is included in the kingdom Monera. But in the kingdom Protist, we'll have to know about the new organisms, about their different type of nutrition, about their different type of reproduction. You will have to know their place of habitat. All of such things that we'll have to know today in the kingdom Protista. Okay, students, that now we'll have to start a new kingdom, that kingdom Protista. Okay. Kingdom Protista. The students, you know that all eukaryotic. Okay, that means students, you remember that that is the most important point, that all unicellular eukaryotic microorganisms are under Protista. Okay, are under Protista. All unicellular eukaryotic. That term unicellular prokaryotic in kingdom Monera, but all unicellular eukaryotic. All unicellular eukaryotic microorganisms are under Protista. That you remember that. That means only difference is that all unicellular prokaryotic microorganisms are under Monera. But here all unicellular eukaryotic microorganisms are under Protista. That is the basic things that you have to remember. All unicellular eukaryotic microorganisms are under Protista. Okay, that is the first point that you have to remember. Another one is that kingdom Protista, you will have to see in the kingdom Protista that the term Protista has been derived from the Greek word, from that of Greek word that is Protistos. Okay, that is Greek word Protistos, Protistos. That is Greek word Protistos, which means that primary or first of all, which means primary or first of all. Remember, students, that the first point that you have to remember, that all unicellular eukaryotic microorganisms are under Protista. This is the first point. Second point that you have to remember, that the term Protista has been derived from the Greek word Protistos. Okay, that Greek word Protistos, that is, which means primary or first of all. So in short, what you will have to derive from that of kingdom Protista, that all organisms, that means what are found under the kingdom Protista, are primary ones. That means primary eukaryotic organisms. That means eukaryotic organism developed for the first times. That means that is the process of development of eukaryotic organism started from that of Protista. So that the Protistos term, the Greek word Protistos, which means primary or first of all. Okay, so the Protists are the primary organisms. So primary eukaryotic organisms. So all Protists. That means all organisms found under the kingdom Protista are called Protists. Okay, Protists. So all Protists are primary eukaryotic organisms. That means Protists are primary eukaryotic organisms, as the term has been derived from the Greek word Protistos, which means primary or first of all. Okay, students. So you remember that it is the all unicellular eukaryotic microorganisms are under Protists, and the term Protist has been derived from Greek word Protistos, which means primary or first of all. So organisms under the kingdom Protista are primary eukaryotic organisms. So the process of development of eukaryotic organism started from this period onward. And that one thing you remember that it is a connecting link. It is a connecting link. That means this protist, the kingdom protist is a connecting link. Is a connecting link. Connecting link between the kingdom Monera on one hand and the that is multicellular, complex multicellular organisms of fungi and that of plantae and that of animalia on the other side. So that it is a connecting link. The kingdom Protista is a connecting link between the kingdom Monera on one hand and the complex multicellular organisms on the other hand, including that of that is fungi and then kingdom Plantae and that of animalia. Okay, so that it acts as the connecting link. It acts as the connecting link. So you know about that the introductory part of that of kingdom Protista. You know unicellular eukaryotic microorganisms derived from that Greek word protistos. Protistos, which means primary or first of all. Okay, primary or first of all, and that all protists are primary eukaryotes. Then the kingdom Protista acts as the connecting link between the kingdom Monera on one hand and that of other kingdom, that is complex multicellular organisms under the kingdom of that is fungi, that of Plantae and animalia students. So you remember that of 3.4 points that you will have to remember. Okay, then you know about that of the boundaries of this kingdom. Another the magic things and most interesting things that you have to remember that means the boundaries of this kingdom. The boundaries of this kingdom are not well defined. That remember that the boundaries of this kingdom are not well defined. Why not well defined? That you have to remember that. That means you know that in kingdom Protista, that means in kingdom Monera, that all organisms under the kingdom Monera are bacteria. That means in the kingdom fungi, that is all that organisms belong to that of same category, that is of the same groups, and in Plantae also that photosynthetic organisms that and in animalia also all the animals included. But the interesting thing that the boundaries of this kingdom are not well defined. Well defined in the sense that means some plant-like organisms and some animal-like organisms are included under this kingdom. The boundaries of this kingdom, that means the boundaries of the kingdom Protista are not well defined as it contains plant-like organisms as well as animal-like organisms. As it contains, very important that you have to remember, it contains plant-like organisms as well as animal-like organisms. That you have to remember. Okay, the boundaries of the kingdom Protista are not well defined because it contains plant-like organisms as well as animal-like organisms. In the kingdom Protista, we'll have to see that certain organisms like that of diatoms, that is dinoflagellates, euglenoids, they are plant-like organisms. Whereas you will have to slim molds and to that of Protozoa, that is amoeba, entamoeba, parameciums, all such organisms, they are animal-like organisms. So the boundaries of this kingdom are not well defined as it contains plant-like organisms as well as animal-like organisms. Okay, that we'll have to remember. Okay, students, that means can you tell me that why the boundaries of this kingdom are not well defined? Anyone?
It contains plant-like organisms as well as
yes, very good. Very good. The boundaries of this kingdom are not well defined. That means you will be surprised that whenever you will have to discuss in depth and understand in depth about this kingdom, you will be surprised that whether that means it is of the different types of organisms are included under this kingdom. That means some plant-like organisms like diatoms, euglenoids, and that of dinoflagellates, whereas that animal-like organisms that are protozoans, and that of slim molds, that means are under the animal-like organisms. So you'll have to know about them. So that owing to that region, it contains plant-like organisms as well as animal organisms. The boundaries of this kingdom are not well defined. So this is a concept that you have to remember. The boundaries of this kingdom are not well defined. For which reason that you remember? Okay. Then come to that students that that protists are regarded as the ancestor of all that all complex multicellular organisms. So these are the ancestors. So that means the protists are regarded as the ancestor of all multicellular eukaryotic organisms. It acts as ancestor. Okay, it acts as ancestor of all complex multicellular eukaryotic organisms. Eukaryotic organisms. That is complex. You don't have to write that ancestor of. That means kingdom protista acts as ancestor of all multicellular eukaryotic organisms. That means eukaryotic organisms started its developments from this kingdoms onward. Okay. And before that kingdom, you know about that they are prokaryotic, unicellular prokaryotic. So this is about that of introductory part of the kingdom protista. So that means what is the that is if anyone will ask about that what is the most striking feature of the kingdom protista, what you will have to tell that all bound, that means it is from that it is all eukaryotic, all unicellular eukaryotic organisms, microorganisms are under kingdom protista, and that the boundaries of these kingdoms are not well defined. That you will have to remember. Okay. Then students will have to know about that of habitat of such that organisms living under such kingdoms. So you will have to know about that of habitats. Okay. And predominantly that all organisms found under these kingdoms are water dwelling. They are water dwelling. That is water dwelling. That means where there is water, they will have to live. Without water, they cannot live. So they are water dwelling. Wherever there is water, that means you will have to find the organisms of protist. Okay, otherwise they cannot live. So that is water dwelling. That is habitat is water dwelling. That means they will have to live on water and on the surface of the water. That means most of the protists are that means on the surface of the water as planktons. How you know that all planktons? So they are lives on that means under the surface of the water. That is surface of the water. On the surface of water, and they are called plankton. So most of the protists are on the surface of water, and they are called planktons, and they are water dwelling. Without water, they cannot live, and so that they will have to develop, they will have to reproduce, and they will have to, that means multiply on that of water surroundings. And so water dwelling is that of habitat, and that most of the protists are on the surface of water, and they are called planktons. That you have to remember. Most of the protists are on the surface of water. On the surface of water and called planktons. Okay, so planktons, that is related to that of kingdom protista. That you will have to remember. That is water dwelling, and then you have to come to about that of cell structure. So you know that about the habitat. That habitat is most interesting feature is that water dwelling, and they will live. That means when there is water. And another thing is that most of the protists are on the surface of water. Most of the protists are on the surface of water as planktons. Okay, that means you know that is planktons that are the that is basic that is most that hugely product that produce some that of seawater and that of planktons, and such organisms are found on the surface of water, and they are related to that of kingdom protist. Okay, then come to that of their structure. Okay, and you know that structure, you know that they are eukaryotic organisms. So that all eukaryotic, their cell and their cell structure, that is cell structure consists of all the that is organelles. All cell organelles are found in that of kingdom Monera. You have seen that only ribosomes, 70s ribosomes, 70s ribosomes are only cell organelle found in the kingdom Monera. But in the kingdom, that is in the kingdom protist, that we will have to see that that is 8s, that is 70s. Here you will have to find out 8s ribosomes. Okay, 8s ribosomes, and you will have to find well-defined nucleus also. Well-defined nucleus, that is nucleus, that is well-defined. Well-defined nucleus you will have to find 8s ribosomes, mitochondria, Golgi bodies, endoplasmic reticulums, all you will have to find all that of cell organelles. That means developed in the organisms under the kingdom Protista, as they are eukaryotic organisms. So all the cellular organelles are found in such kingdom, that is organism under such kingdom. So you will have to that cells, that is typically that of cell structure, that they have cell walls. Some protists have cell walls, and cell walls are made up of cellulose. You remember that cellulose, those that means those protists are photosynthetic. Those protists are photosynthetic. Their cell wall is made up of cellulose, and some protists also, their that is cuticle, that is pellicle, that is and that of cellulose, and there are also some that of protists, and their cell walls are made up of cuticle, pellicle, and that of cellulose. Okay, but those who are photosynthetic, those are photosynthetic protists like that of diatoms, that is euglenoids, and that of dinoflagellates. They are cell wall made up of cellulose, and you'll have to find out that they have also that photosynthetic activities. So they have also chlorophyll, okay, chlorophyll, and thylakoids also, and so that they are well-developed nucleus, 80s ribosome also found in the cell membrane of that of eukaryotic organisms. Okay, so you remember that instead of 70s ribosomes, that in protist we will have to find that 80s ribosomes, and a well-defined nucleus with that of chromatin, nucleolus. Okay, then that is also nuclear membrane. That is nuclear membrane also present in that cell structure. And those who are photosynthetic, their cell wall consists of that of cellulose, and other organisms that some lack cell wall also, and there are some organisms that their cell wall that is made up of cuticle, pellicle, and that of cellulose. Okay, so that you have to remember that structure, and that protist outer covering that I have told you. And that of the being eukaryote protist cell body consists of all the cell organelles, that I have already told you, that all cell organelles you have to find out there, and that instead of 70s ribosomes, 80s ribosomes are found in that of cells, in the cells of that of protist. Okay, and then you have to know about that of the genetic material. That means the genetic material is that of linear DNA. That means you know that is linear DNA. That is genetic material. That is genetic material. Genetic material is that of linear DNA. That means circular DNA. In kingdom Monera, you know about that of circular DNA. But here we have to find out that DNA of that of linear DNA. Okay. So that this type of DNA we'll have to find out. That means that is two parts on the both sides. That means you'll have to see that this one and this one. These are called the linear DNA. And that type of linear DNA are found in almost all eukaryotic organisms. Okay, that linear DNA. So that is starting of linear DNA. That is genetic material. Is that a genetic material? Is that of linear DNA instead of circular DNA? Circular DNA are in the top of DNA of Monera. So here is a linear DNA. Okay, that development of genetic material, and I have already told you that it is that nucleus, which is well-defined nucleus, and nucleus that consists of that of chromatin, that is of also that that is nuclear membrane. Okay, nuclear membrane, chromatin, all are found in that nucleolus, nuclear membrane. Also things that you will have to find out in that of cell structure of that of protist. Okay, in cell structure of protist, we will have to find well-defined nucleus with that of nucleosome, with that of chromatin, with that of nuclear membranes. And then genetic material is linear DNA instead of that of circular DNA that are found in the kingdom Monera. Okay. Then come to that of then you have to know about that of habitat. You know a little about that of structure. Okay, cell structure. Now you have to know about their nutrition. Okay, students, that can you tell me that anyone that is the prominent habitat, predominantly in which habitat that organisms on the kingdom protist dwell? Students, that means can you tell me that in which habitat organisms under the kingdom protist dwell? That is live or inhabit. Anyone?
No, sir.
That is Aditya.
No, sir. Sir, Lee.
Yes, you tell.
No, sir.
Are you not understanding me? My question is that means that in which habitat organism under kingdom protist live? That is Abhishek. Abhishek, are you present?
No, sir. Abhishek is absent today.
Okay, that any students can tell about that. That is Avinash. Are you present? Can you tell me?
No, sir.
That is water dwelling. I have told you that is water dwelling. That means they dwell in water. That means most of the protists live. That means on the surface of water or underwater. Okay, so water dwelling. Water dwelling is the most important habitat. That is habitat. Habitat means where they live. That is habitat. Water dwelling is the most important habitat of water dwelling is the most important habitat of that is protist. So protist, the organisms under kingdom protist live in water. That means on the surface of water, those live on the surface of water, they are called planktons. And there are some organisms also, they live inside water. So water dwelling, that means they live on water. There is no terrestrial attachment of such organisms. Such organisms cannot live on the land. Okay, they will live inside water on the surface of the water. Those live on the surface of water, they are called planktons. Now you can tell me that where is the habitat? That means where is the habitat that that means organisms of under the kingdom protist live?
Sir, water dwelling.
Right? Water. And then you tell me that that is most of the protist means organism under kingdom protist are called protist. Then you tell me that most of the protists live on the surface of the water. They are called They are called
Planktons.
plankton. Very good. They are
Planktons,
called
yes, sir.
plankton. Okay, they are called plankton. Those live on the surface of the water, they are called planktons, and they come under the kingdom protist. Okay, so you remember, and you tell me that means which type of ribosomes, which type of ribosomes is found in the cell organelle of that protist? Whether
ATS.
it's
ATS.
ATS,
ATS.
very good. ATS ribosomes, very good, brilliant. And that means you tell me that those photosynthetic protists, their cell walls are made up of
Cellulose.
cellulose.
The cellulose.
Cellulose. And those are that means non-photosynthetic. Their cell wall are made up of pelliculi or that of cuticle. Okay, pelliculi and cuticle, and there are also some protists they lack cell wall. That you have to remember. Okay, then you can tell me that which type of that means which type of DNA is mostly found in that of kingdom protist? Which type of DNA?
Linear DNA. Linear
Yes, very
DNA.
good. Excellent. That is linear DNA. Okay, and I have also, that means on that of drawing I have also shown you. That means how they have exist. Then we'll have to know about their locomotion. Then we'll have to know about the locomotion. Okay. Now you see that locomotion, you know that is movement from one place to another. That is locomotion, and that protist. That means some of the motile protists may have flagella or cilia. You know that for locomotion they have pseudopodia. They have that is pseudopodia. That is locomotory appendages or locomotory structure. Locomotory structure, one is pseudopodia, then that of flagella, and third of that of cilia. Okay, that is pseudopodia, flagella, and cilia. That means that protist. That means those who have that is locomotory motile protist may have pseudopodia, flagella, or that of cilia. Okay, those who are motile protist. Motile means you know that moving from one place. Those who are in the motion or they can move. Those protists can move. They are called motile, and that motile and those motile protists they have pseudopodia. What are the locomotory structure? What are the locomotory appendages? That are one is pseudopodia. Pseudopodia is otherwise called as false feet. That is called false feet. Pseudopodia is otherwise called as false feet. Then flagella. Another one is cilia. Okay. Then we will have to know about that pseudopodia, flagella, and the cilia. You remember that? That means that is motile protist. Motile protist have said that means locomotory appendage or locomotory structure. Locomotory structures are of three types. One is pseudopodia, another one is flagella, then that of cilia. Some protists have pseudopodia or false feet, and some protists have flagella. Okay, and some protists have cilia. We'll have to know one by one. That is, first we will know about that of pseudopodia, then go to flagella and cilia. Okay, students, now we'll have to know about that of pseudopodia. We'll have to know about that of pseudopodia. Pseudopodia is otherwise called as false feet, and the pseudopodia developed from that of fibroblast cells. Pseudopodia are made by fibroblast cell. Okay, fibroblast cells. That means they are made up of fibroblast cells, and the pseudopodia are called false feet. And the pseudopodia are that of a blunt finger-shaped protoplasmic that is extension. Blunt finger-like, that is blunt finger-like protoplasmic extension. That is protoplasmic extension. Okay, that is pseudopodia that is made up by fibroblast cells. Fibroblast cells made of pseudopodia, that is false feet given to that of amoeba, and that fibroblast cells made by fibroblast cells, and their blonde finger-like, that is protoplasmic extension. Their blonde finger-like protoplasmic extension and give irregular shape. Give irregular shape to the organisms. Pseudopodia give irregular shape. Irregular shape to the organisms. Okay, to the organisms. That you have to remember. Pseudopodia are called false feet. They are made by fibroblast cells and they are blonde finger-like protoplasmic extensions and irregular shape. And that pseudopodia give irregular shape to the organisms. That means organism shape is not regular one. That means you'll have to. That means whenever you'll have to. That means you have to such type of. That means development will have to find here, and that give that irregular shape where there is a regular shape, but when they will come that ends, that means it will have the irregular shapes. So that the blonde figure likes protoplasmic extension and it gives irregular shape to the organisms. Okay, and the pseudopodia blonde figure-like protoplasmic extension give irregular shape to the organisms, and that means the rate of movement is very slow. That means 0.2 to 0.3. That is micrometer per second. That is micrometer per second. You imagine that how slowly they move. 0.2 to 0.3 micrometer per second. Okay, per second. That is movement. So that you know about that, and the pseudopodia is generally found in that of that is sarcodines, amoeba, and slimemoles. It is mainly found in sarcodines, amoeba, and the slim molds. Okay, and so that of pseudopodia, that is locomotory structure found in the organisms of sarcodines, amoeba, and the slim molds. And they are mostly found in such organisms like sarcodines, amoeba, and the slim molds. And the pseudopodia are called false feet and made by fibroblast cells. They are blunt finger-like protoplasmic extension, give irregular shape to the organisms, and the movement is very slow, that it is 0.2 to 0.3 micrometer per second. So that is the pseudopodia. And pseudopodia are mostly found in which protists? That is in sarcodines, amoeba, and slim molds. Sarcodines, amoeba, and slim molds. That is pseudopodia. Okay, and basically you remember that in which protists that they are pseudopodia are found. Pseudopodia are otherwise called false feet. They are found in sarcodines, amoeba, and that of slim molds. That you have to remember. Such organism, name of such organism is very important. Pseudopodia are found in which organisms? That question will ask. These are the extra knowledge that we have to gain, but no question will ask about that. Blunt finger-like protoplasmic extension, irregular shape to the organisms, and movement is very slow, 0.2 to 0.3 micrometer per second. Okay, that is pseudopodia. Then come to that of that is flagella. Okay, locomotion by pseudopodia, you know, and where that in which organism, students, have you remembered in which protist that that is pseudopodia locomotion is generally found? Pseudopodia locomotion is generally found in which protist, students?
Amoebas,
Amoeba, yes.
slime mold,
Sarcodines and slim
Slime.
molds.
Slime
Yes,
mold.
very good. Very good. That is locomotion, pseudopodia locomotion. Then come to that of locomotion by that of flagella. That is flagella. That is flagella. Okay, that is flagella. You'll have to know about that of flagella. And their flagella and cilia that are made up of microtubules. That is made up of microtubules, flagella, and cilia, and a motile hair-like appendage. They are motile. They are motile hair-like structure. Okay, motile hair-like structure. Flagella are motile hair-like structure, and that from that of pre-motion, that's 2. That is flagella. That is 9 plus 2 5 That is 9 plus 2 5 9 2 plus 5 means they are arranged in such a way. That means 9 huge pairs on the outside. That is huge pairs. So 9 huge pairs. That you will have to see that 9 huge pairs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is 9 fused pairs. That is 9. 9 fibrils that outside of the organisms, and the 2 are not fused. That means 2 are not fused. So that is called 9 plus 2 fibrils. They are of microtubules. They are made up of microtubules. Okay, that is made up of microtubules. And there are 9 plus 2. 9s are, that is, they are paired. There is paired, 9 paired. That is, they are paired. But they are 9 paired. That is 9 fibrils on the outside of the locomotory structure of such organisms. And that is outside. And there are 2. There are on, that is not fused. They are inside of that of a cell of the, that is outside of the cell of the organisms, and that is inside of the cell. They are not fused, their 9s are fused. So they are arranged in such a way. Okay, in a ring-like manner they are arranged. So that is 9 plus 2 fibrils that are found in the flagella, that is of a motile protist. In the motile protist, 9 plus 2 microtubules, that is fibrils, are found, and they are arranged in a ring-like structure, in a ring-like manner, and their 9 plus 2 flagella, that is flagella, are found in that of cell of that of motile protist. Okay, in the motile protist cells, you will have to find 9 plus 2 arrangement. That is 9 plus 2 arrangement. That concept you have to remember. And these are 9 plus 2 arrangements. Fibrils are found in that of that is microtubules of that of that is motile protist. Okay, in the motile protist, and they are the motile hair-like structure. They are motile hair-like structure. Okay, and that from that free surface of the cells, where the flagella are found on the free surface of the cell. On the free surface of the cell. On the free surface of the cell, flagella are found. Okay, that flagella. And that means that is where they found, in which organisms? They are found in that of dinoflagellates, in that of dinoflagellates, euglenoids, that is euglenoids. Okay, they are found in dinoflagellates, euglenoids, and that of zooflagellates, that is zooflagellates. That flagellates. From that term you can mark it as flagella, zooflagellates, dinoflagellates, euglenoids. In such organisms, that flagella are present. Flagella are motile hair-like structure on the free surface of the cell. They are in 9 plus 2 arrangement. 9 plus 2 arrangement of microtubules, that cells, that is 9s, that means they are paired, and the 2 are non-paired. Okay, that you have to remember. And in which organism, that is very important. They are found in which protist? They are found in dinoflagellates, in euglenoids, and in zooflagellates. That is very important, that you will have to remember. Dinoflagellates, euglenoids, and then zooflagellates. Okay, that is flagella. Then come to that of cilia, locomotion by cilia. Okay, locomotion by cilia. That means you will have to ciliary movement. That is ciliary locomotion. That is locomotion by cilia. That is locomotion by cilia. You have to know about that of locomotion by cilia, and there, that is short, fine hair-like structure. They are short, fine hair-like structure. Hair-like structure. Okay, they are fine. They are short, fine hair-like structure. Fine hair-like structure. Look like a small hair and present all over the body. Present all over the body. Present all over the body. That means cilia are present all over the body, but on the free surface of the cell, that flagella. Flagella are found on the free surface of the cell, whereas cilia are found present all over the body. And cilia are short, they are long, flagella are long, but cilia are short, fine hair-like structure. Okay, and where cilia found? Cilia found that in the parameciums. In paramecium, you have to find that that is locomotor structure of cilia found in the organisms like paramecium under the kingdom Protists. That you will have to remember. Cilia. Cilia are the short, fine hair-like structure that is present all over the body, and it is mostly found in that of Protists paramecium. Okay, that you will have to remember. You have remembered that of pseudopodia, false teeth in the organism of amoeba, sarcodines, and that of slime molds, and where that of flagella found in zooflagellates, dinoflagellates, and that of euglenoids. And cilia is found in the body structure of that of paramecium. Okay, so you know about that of three type of locomotion mostly found in motile Protists. One is that of pseudopodia. Second one is that of flagella, that is locomotion by pseudopodia, locomotion by flagella, and locomotion by cilia. Okay, and the ciliary movement is found in that of paramecium. That we will have to remember. Okay. Now, students, you have to little know about that of difference between that of flagella. That is the difference between that of that is flagella and cilia. That you will have to remember. It is very important. That flagella and cilia. That flagella and that of cilia. Okay, comparison. That means you will have to know about that of flagella, cilia. That is that are made up of microtubules. That is common. That is one common feature is that they are made up of microtubules. And second point is that they are, that means they are locomotory structure. They are locomotory structure, that is similarity, point of similarity. Second one, that they are made up of microtubules. They are similarity, symmetricals, and that of comparison between that of flagella and cilia, that long hair-like complex structure. They are long hair-like complex structure. Okay, they are long hair-like complex structure. Suppose these organisms, you might have seen that of that of so long hair-like complex structure. These are that of flagella. They are complex structure, long and long. Cilia generally small, the short hair-like simple structure. Instead of long, it will be short. And hair-like, but that of instead of complex, that will be simple structure. Okay, simple structure. So flagella are long, hair-like, complex structure, where cilia are short, hair-like, that is simple structure. Only difference, long, short, complex, simple. That you have to remember in such way. Okay, there are few per cell. Few for flagella are complex, are long, but few per cell. Few per cell. Per cell, only 1 to 4. Per cell flagella is 1 to 4. But there are many per cell, 3,000 to 4,000. There are many per cell. Per cell, the number is many. That is 3,000 to 4,000. That you have to remember. Flagella are long hair-like structure, complex structure. Cilia short hair-like simple structure. First point that you have to remember. Second, their flagella are few per cell, 1 to 4. But cilia are many per cell. They are 3,000 to 4,000. More ciliary group you will have to find on the cell instead of that flagella. Flagella number only very few. Only 1 to 4. Only 1 to 4. Okay. Few, and means whenever they will move, they will have to beat like this. So they will beat independently. That means without any pulsation or pressure, but beat in succession in a coordinated manner. Beat in succession. Beat in succession. Succession means suppose two are like this, that means beat, another will be up. This one will beat, then after that one. So they are beat in succession in a coordinated manner. In a coordinated manner. Okay. In a coordinated manner. So that flagella and cilia students that I have also told you previously, that means flagella are on that of surface of the cell. They are, that means on the entire body of the cell. That means you remember that is flagella. The first point is that flagella, long hair-like complex structure, short hair-like simple structure. That is the first point. Second point, they are few per cell, only 1 to 4. They are many per cell, 3000 to 4000. Then they beat independently. That means only 1 to 4 in numbers. So they will beat independently. There is no external pressure on it. But that is cilia beat in succession. That 3000 to 4000 ciliary appendages are there. So they will have to beat that is in succession. Some will beat, after that another, then beat, like this way. They will have to beat. Okay, so beat in succession in a coordinated manner, and they are on the cell surface of the cell. They are on the entire body. Okay, so you remember that of flagella and cilia. That is similarity is that they both are, that is locomotory structure, and they are made up of microtubules. And these are the comparison. Okay, students. Now I will have to ask you question about that of flagella and cilia. What you have remembered about that of flagella and cilia? That means anyone can tell that the first point of difference, students. What you have understood that of comparison between flagella and cilia? Anyone?
Sir, first point is a long
Flagella
hair
have
like
long hair-like structure and complex structure.
Yes, another students can tell another point. Yes,
sir, in
what you have
flagella,
understood that?
sir, in flagella the few per cells it is 1 to
Yes.
4, and in cilia many per cells 3000 to 4000.
Very good. Then another student then can tell the third point of difference.
Flagella beat independently, but cilia beat in successfully.
Yes, in beating succession. Students, can you tell me from your own another that is fourth number of difference, that 1, 2, 3 points difference you have discussed. And then can you tell me that fourth point of difference from your book? Because previously I have taught cilia, flagella. Can you tell me? That means where they found. Where they found. That means where that flagella found. Flagella are found in that
Free
fourth point
surface of the cell.
yes, dinoflagellates. That then
Euglenoids
flagellates and
flagella.
yes, and where that ciliary movement, that is cilia are found in paramecium.
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 So that is the fourth point of different students. Okay. Then you know that about that of locomotion. So today I discuss about that of introduction that I had given, that that all unicellular eukaryotic microorganisms are placed under kingdom Protista. That you know, and that the term Protista has been derived from the Greek word. Have you students remembered Greek word? Protistus. Protistus.
Protistus.
The term protista has been derived from the Greek word protistus, which
Protistus.
means, what is the meaning of
Primary or
protistus?
first of all?
Yes, very good, very good, very good. That is primary or first of all. Okay, so they are the primary eukaryotic organisms. In a simple sense, what do you understand? That they are primary eukaryotic organisms. And the boundaries of such kingdoms are not well defined. Students, have you remembered why not well defined? Because there are certain organisms, plant-like organisms, and there are as well as animal-like organisms. Yes, going to that regions, the boundaries are not well defined, and it is a connecting link. Another point that you have to remember, that it is a connecting link between kingdom of Monera on one hand and a kingdom of that is fungi and that of plantae and animalia on the other hand. And these organisms are the ancestor of all eukaryotic, complex eukaryotic organism, multicellular eukaryotic organisms. That introductory part that you will have to remember all such things. Then about that of habitat. Habitat, that is water dwelling. That means they will live where there is a water. No water, no protist. That remember, no water, no protist. That is water dwelling. And those are that seen on the surface of the water, they are called planktons. Planktons. And that cell structure, they are eukaryotic cell structure. So they bear eukaryotic cell structure comparatively different from that of Monera, and they have APS, that cell wall. Those who are photosynthetic, they have cellulosic cell wall, and those are non-photosynthetic, they may be cell wall of pelliculi or that of cuticle, or some protists also they lack cell wall. Okay, that you remember. Those who are animal-like organisms, they lack cell walls. And then that is another structure is that they are linear DNA, and that of you have to remember that they have that is well-defined nucleus, and the nucleus well-defined, including to that of chromatin, nucleoplasms, and that of nuclear membranes. Okay, and that all that eukaryotic organisms, what are that of features found in all eukaryotic organisms that develop from that or the kingdom also. Okay, and then we'll have to know about that of locomotion. And in locomotion, I discuss about that of three type of. Those are motile protists. Motile in the sense that those are on the moving, they can move from one place to another. Protists, they are called motile. How can they move? You have legs, you can move. But how such organisms, such microorganisms, unicellular organisms can move? They have three type of structure, three type of locomotory appendage. Those who have pseudopodia or pulse feet, they have to move. That means on a certain way. Those lack that of pseudopodia, they have flagella, they have flagellar movements. And those who have cilia, they have ciliary movement. Okay, and you know about that of pseudopodia, that pulse feet are found in that of organisms like sarcodines and that of amoeba, and that you know about the slime molds. And then that of flagellar movement, where flagellar movement is found, flagellar movements are found in dinoflagellates, and that of zooflagellates, and that of that is euglenoids, and that ciliary movement are found in parameciums. And there are some that is protist, they lack also that of locomotory structure because they are non-motile. So today you have to discuss about that of introduction to that of protist. Then you know about their habitat, you know about their cell structure, and you know about that of locomotion. That is 9+2. That is their flagella. That is flagella that consists of that of 9+2 fibrils. That is microtubules. 9+2 structure. 9+2 organization that you will have to remember. Okay, students. Today we'll have to discuss all such things, and that Thursday that we will have to discuss about that of nutrition, and then we will have to discuss about that is reproduction. Then we will know about the different groups of protists. The different group of protists we will know about the that is diatoms. Then we will know about that of dinoflagellates. Then we will know about that of euglenoids. Then we will know about slime molds, and then the last one, that protozoa. That means we will have to know about the 5 groups. We will have to discuss one after another the 5 groups of protists. Okay, so that that structure, features of protists that today we discuss, and that we are going to discuss on the coming classes. That is very important with example, features, silent features, characteristics, and examples. are the important of this chapter that you will have to remember of such kingdom. Okay. Now students come to that of 5 MCQs. Which of the following BGS? First question, students. Now you ready? First question. Which of the following BGS? Okay. Which of the following BGS is used as single cell protein? Is used as single cell protein. Students, remember which of the following BGS is used as single cell protein. I am giving you option, that is ribullia, then oscillatoria, then microcyst, and D that of spirulina.
Sir, D.
Very good, brilliant. Okay.
Yes,
Which
sir.
of the following BPS is used as single cell protein, that is spirulina? Okay, ribullia, oscillatoria, and the microcyst, they are toxic. They are toxic, but spirulina is non-toxic.
Non-toxic.
Okay, so non-toxic, owing to that characteristics, you take spirulina as a food, that is proteinaceous food, that is single cell protein. Those are toxic, they are not required. Very good, brilliant answer. Which then come to that of question number 2. Which among the following is not a Which among the following is not a heterotroph? The next question. Which among the following is not a heterotroph? Second question. Which among the following is not a heterotroph? Is not a heterotroph. Students, mindfully you understand the options, then that is Nitrococcus, B, Pseudomonas, C, Pseudomonas, then that of Theobacillus rhizobium. Theobacillus D, rhizobium. Have you any idea,
C.
students?
C.
Which among the following is not a heterotroph? Nitrococcus, Pseudomonas, Theobacillus rhizobium.
C.
Yes.
C.
C.
Yes, sir.
No. No. Anyone?
Sir, option B.
Option B. B.
Yes, sir.
No.
Sir, A.
That is option A is the right
A.
answer. Okay. Option A is the right answer. These are the chemoautotrophic. They are chemoautotroph. They are chemoautotroph. But all three are heterotroph. That is heterotroph. Okay. I have told you that now all the nitrifying bacteria, that is Nitrococcus, Nitrosomonas, Nitrocyst, Nitrobacter, all are nonifying bacteria, and that of a denitrifying bacteria, they are heterotroph. That you have to remember. Okay, students, you remember it is very important question on the NEET standard. That means which among the following is not a heterotroph? Nitrococcus, Pseudomonas, Theobacillus, rhizobium. How will they have to understand? You students, you remember. You remember that Pseudomonas fetida, they are decomposing, they are involved in, that is that is decomposition work. So they are heterotroph. All decomposing bacteria are that of heterotrophs. Then Thiobacillus also denitrifying. They also denitrifying involved. Denitrifying bacteria, they are heterotrophs. Rhizobiums, they have nitrogen fixation, but they are on the root nodules of that of that is leguminous plants. That is rhizobiums. They are heterotrophs. But Nitrococcus is chemoautotrophs, nitrifying bacteria, so it is different. So answer is A. Okay, you have to apply your brain power, then you will have to get the answer. Then come to that of question number 3. Question number 3. Select the incorrect statement regarding that is cyanobacteria. That is select incorrect statement regarding cyanobacteria. Okay, question you write down, students. Then option A, and they have chlorophyll A similar to bean plant. They have chlorophyll A similar to green plants. Option A. That is incorrect statement. They have chlorophyll A similar to green plants. They reproduce mostly by fission. They reproduce mostly by fission. That is option 2. They reproduce mostly by fission. Binary fission, multiple fission, you know that fission. Then option C, they bear heterocyst for photosynthesis. They bear heterocyst for photosynthesis. Then option D is that they create algal blooms in some water bodies. They create algal bloom in some water bodies. Students, have you any idea? Select the incorrect statement regarding cyanobacteria. They have chlorophyll A similar to green plants. They reproduce mostly by fission. They bear heterocyst for photosynthesis. They create algal blooms in some water bodies. Students, Aditya, are you present? Swagatika,
Yes, sir.
can you tell me that answer? Alibha, are you present?
Option C.
Option C, very good, brilliant answer. Option C is the right answer. You see that they have chlorophyll similar to green plants. Okay, they look like green plant because they do photosynthesis. So chlorophyll A is cyanobacteria, chlorophyll A plants also. So this one, so correct. It is not incorrect statement. They reproduce mostly by fission, by binary fission. You know that most of the bacteria do by binary fission. So it is also the right answer. And they create algal blooms, you know, microcysts, that is ribulariae. Then that of that some they also create that of alga, that is algal blooms in some water bodies. But they bear heterocyst for what? For nitrogen fixation, not for photosynthesis. For nitrogen fixation. So this one is the wrong. And so this is the right answer. So incorrect statement means this one is the incorrect statement. They bear heterocyst for photosynthesis, not for photosynthesis, but for nitrogen fixation. Okay, students. Then come to that of question number 4. Which of the following pairs is incorrect? Then come to next question. You have to write down the questions because very important for your examination point of view. Don't miss one question. Okay. Which of the following pair is incorrect? Question number 4. Which of the following pairs is incorrect? Salmonella, that is typhoid salmonella, that is bacteria names, the disease bacteria, typhoid salmonella, and then that of chlorella vibrio, that is cholera, that is vibrio. Then come to that of influenza. Influenza, that is called that of Haemophilus. Haemophilus. Okay. Then option B, that is pneumonia, that is Mycobacterium. Pneumonia, that is Mycobacterium.
Sir, D.
Yes, very good.
Sir,
That
option D.
is Streptococcus
Option D.
pneumoniae. Okay, that will be Streptococcus. Instead of Mycobacterium, that will be the Streptococcus. Very good answer. Brilliant answer. Typhoid salmonella, chlorella, that is cholera vibrio. Then influenza Haemophilus. Then pneumonia will be that Streptococcus, not Mycobacterium. Other students that you are also students.
Sir,
that,
option D.
You are also
Yes,
doing. Yes, thank you. Then come to that of question number 5. Cytoplasma of mycoplasma. Cytoplasma of mycoplasma does not contain. The last question of today. Cytoplasma of mycoplasma. Question number 5. Cytoplasma of mycoplasma does not contain. Okay, does not contain. Cytoplasma of mycoplasma does not contain 70S ribosome. Okay, 70S ribosomes, dsDNA, double stranded DNA, then ccRNA, single stranded RNA, and a cholesterol.
Sir,
option
D.
D. Option D, sir.
Sir, D.
Option?
D.
Sir, option D.
D is the right answer. Very good. Yes, so brilliant students. You can qualify it in one sense. Okay, that is ribosome. 70S ribosome present, dsDNA present, rsRNA present, but cholesterol is absent. It is not present. It is present in the that is plasma membrane. It is present in the plasma membrane. That is present in cell membranes. That is cholesterol, but it is not of that of cytoplasma of mycoplasma. So that is cholesterol is the right answer. Very good. Brilliant students. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sir.